Thank you so much. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Smoke. We are live. I'm your host, Brother Ron.
I'm Brother Los.
And we are the Daily Smoke. Thank you so much for joining us this Monday afternoon as we begin to start this week of ours. I hope everyone had a good day at work today. And if you're not working, I hope you still had a good day. How's everybody doing?
I'm good.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Early work day is over.
Yeah, man.
And that's the main
Work
part.
is work, man. You know what I mean? Hello, what's going on, Joyce Horton? Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And for everyone else that's currently watching the show, thank you so much, for tuning in this afternoon or this evening, rather, as we begin to start our episode on what makes a good teacher. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And we're going to have a guest of ours that's going to sit here next to us, Queen Mother. She she got to hang out with us. You know what I mean? She called me earlier and said, "Can I come?" I'm like, heck yeah. So come on and join us, Queen Mother, when you get a chance. So how was your day, man? What's going on with you, brother?
It wasn't too busy, but I almost called off, but I figured, let me just go to work.
Right through it.
Get this shit through it. Yeah, so it wasn't too bad.
How was your weekend?
The weekend was good. I just relaxed and chilled, trying to just do what I try to beat this heat, which I'm really trying to do.
That's what's up, man.
Spending a lot of time inside.
What's going on, love? What's happening with you?
Good.
Always a pleasure.
Good.
Always a pleasure.
It's the
Indeed.
same here.
It's been a while now. Got your Savannah hat on.
We see you. We see you. We see you.
Have a hat here.
What you do this weekend, Queen Mother? What you do?
Enjoyed life.
I hear that.
Just enjoyed life.
I
Not
hear
all you can
that.
do, right?
I hear that. What about you?
Live like a queen.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes,
What
sir.
about you, Brother Hood? What's the good word, man? How was your weekend, bro? You good?
Mm-hmm.
Was do anything special? That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
But he's still be packing up.
That's what's up. Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
I'm good.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Well, let's go ahead and get these people paid, man. The people that believed in us even before we believed in ourselves.
Go ahead.
Here come the ice cream, man. You know, so we so good. All right, so first up, we got Banging 832 Radio.
Bang it.
Bang it.
Bang it.
Bang it.
Bang.
www.bangin832.com. Check out the past episodes of the Daily Smoke every Sunday at 7 p.m., which is about to change in approximately another 2 weeks because we're going to have Queen Mother starting her own platform with us on Sundays, if I understand correctly.
Right.
Can't wait to get that started. So thank you so much, Bangin'. It's not that we're going to stop airing your episodes. We're going to just find a different time and slot to put it in. We appreciate you working with us, and we want to maintain working with you. Thank you so much. Bangin832radio.com. And then next up, we have Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. To get with life, get a massage.
Touch my body.
Yeah. www.tamiaanderson.com. That's TAMIAANDERSON. And she's going to .com. And she's actually going to be on one of our episodes in early August. So we look forward to having Tamia part of our platform, joining us, as well as a couple of other shows we have. I think Tiffany as well as Vanessa are going to host as well. So those should be some really good episodes. We're looking forward to it. Absolutely. And then after that, we have the original. You know, you got like Timmy Chan, but then you got the original Timmy Chan.
Yes.
The original Buy Black Marketplace, celebrating 6 years of cooperative economics. I know you love this part, man.
Okay.
It is the ultimate Buy Black Marketplace, the Black Vendor Market, Book, and Art Fair. The ultimate pop-up experience. Calling all vendors. I'm just looking at Los. This keep funny. I've known him long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Calling all vendors, artists, authors, and Black-owned businesses free and open to the public every first and third Saturday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's a fun, community, and family-friendly event featuring food, retail shopping, entertainment, workshops, and more. They had me a food queen. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
They had your free yoga class.
Queen. That I don't know what it is. But that woman right there, that's a problem. Like that. I might show up late to shows in the future. That's all I'm saying. So so we have the Buy Black Marketplace at 53. Just look at him. See, he can't stop smiling.
And
You feel me?
she's flexible too.
Oh my God. Buy Black Marketplace, free and open to the public every first and third Saturday from 12 to 6. It's a fun community and family-friendly event featuring food, retail, entertainment, workshops, and more at 5309 MLK Boulevard. Got anything you want to say, Queen Mother?
I'm gonna have to take the family out there one day, man. Never gone up as much as we've been talking about it and promoting them. Never been out there.
I'll go out there. Let me know when she having class.
When the classes are
Yeah,
going.
let me know that.
It's going.
And let me know that.
And it better be the same girl in the
I show up
picture.
early. I show up before the people that's there to feed the homeless.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
here
be
for the yoga.
there. Well,
You don't want to eat?
No,
I'm here
no,
for
no,
yoga.
Caroline. No, I want the yoga line.
That's right.
Next up, we got the Pug Pass to CBD and more. We have fun, Queen.
I'm
You know
here
how
for
we
the
are.
yoga.
You know how we are. We have fun.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I
Pug
love it.
Pass hit CBD and more. 4130 and a half Cavalcade here in Houston, Texas at 77026. You can check them out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. They have their own website, and their website is on our homepage of our website. So you can access their website. Go to our website. You'll see them and everyone else that partners with us. Thank you so much. And you can also catch them on Yelp. If you want to send her an email, go to puffpassit20@gmail.com. But it's spelled like this. I told you we hood, didn't we? PUFFPASSIT20@gmail.com. We have to have that 20 at .com or call Tanya Ashley at 713-766-6631. And last but not least, the THADailySmoke.com, www.THADailySmoke.com. Check out all of the episodes we've covered in the past. Check out the episodes we have coming up in the near future. We would love to have you to visit our website and see what we have going on. If we're going to be at certain events throughout the city or throughout the state, you never know. Please check us out on not a weekly basis, but daily basis, because you never know what you're going to get. But I do know this, the episodes that you're going to get will be posted at least a week in advance on our website, so that way everyone knows what we're going to be talking about, so they can come in and argue with us. You know what I mean? They come in and
Most
argue
of the time
with
they're
us.
just listening. Ain't nobody arguing.
Or they on something else, so we'll just listen. You know what I mean? But do know, I guarantee you, once you come on this platform one time, I guarantee you will feel at home. We'll treat you like family. Even if we disagree with you, we'll love you all the more. And for that cause, please donate to our Cash App, which is $TD Smoke. We're not doing this because we're trying to be popular. We're doing this because we want our people to be educated. We're not doing this because we want to make a lot of money. We're doing this because we want you to be informed. We're not doing this because we want to live better, which would be nice. But we're doing this because we want you to live better. So please check us out on www.THADailySmoke.com. And please, if you feel that this cause is worthy enough to give to, sponsor, support, $TDSmoke.com. I'm sorry, $TD Smoke Cash App. Check us out. And so that's all we got. So what else we got coming up, y'all? What's going on?
As far as I know, we already mentioned the Big Mother show coming.
How you feel about this, Clark?
Side.
I'm still in awe.
How are you?
I am. Upstairs after you and I talked, I was like, after we hung up, I'm still saying, what just happened? Because the realness of something that I desired from God, it was there. I was like, for real. So
Thank you for
I'm
wanting to be a
feeling
part of
off.
us.
Right. I mean, I've seen some of the ones you had did before, but, we appreciate you letting us present you what you're doing now.
Thank you.
You do us a favor. Thank you.
Well, shit. I'm still in awe, but I am so more of what I believe, and y'all know that's the Lord.
Amen.
I mean, that's the realness of it. I was like, that's why I was like, for real. I went through the house pretty much after our conversation. I was like, For real. Wow, what I really want is really happening.
Mhm.
And who knew?
Amen.
Who knew?
Amen.
He was the only one who knew.
Amen.
That's good.
So,
You know, we had a leap like that. What's going on, bud? What's happening, Howdy? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for always supporting us, man. And I'm sorry if you're in the room and I did not give you your respect. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Budget. And we don't see anyone else in the room, but if you are here and you want us to know you're here, please let us know. Just drop a comment or two on that line. We're more than happy to give you a shout out. Absolutely. Thank you for being here with us. You could be doing many other things, but you're here with us. We just had I had an interesting conversation with LaDonna. She joined us a couple of months ago.
okay.
And after she saw the last episode that we did, or it was maybe the one before that. Now, mind you, she's already with us.
Mm-hmm.
She's already donated. And, sometimes people have to feel their way around, like, can I really do myself? Can I really say this?
Yeah.
Is it real? I know how I felt. She's been here a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I know how I felt when,
She say whatever the fuck she
you know what I mean? Like, she's still kind of hesitant, which is cool because these people, we have a bond that goes over 10 years easily.
Okay.
So if you're in an environment like that and you don't have that kind of bond with those people, that can kind of make you feel intimidated because it'll make you feel kind of like you're on the outside looking in.
Right,
And that's the last thing we want, right?
Correct.
So she is still trying to process those feelings, and that's cool. That's good. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me during the last episode we had a little bit after. She said, I need to ask you something, Ron. Yeah, what's up, Donnie? And if you're watching and you didn't want me to say this, I do apologize for Donnie.
Too late.
But it's too late. But it's all just giving you respect. We mean nothing else by this other than give you respect. She called me after the show and was like, Ron, I need to talk to you. Yeah, what's up? And I'm thinking it's like something really like pressing, like, oh my God, did you say something wrong, do something wrong, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes, I need to know, like, when you say we can conduct our own show the way we want to, like what we talk about, like we can like really be ourselves, right? I said, absolutely. And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
LaDonna, look. And if she's watching, she'll tell.
Told her from day one.
We told her from day one.
You do what you want.
You can get on here and talk about pink and purple polka dot Smurfs.
That's your show. We're presenting your show.
You know what I mean?
Your show.
Now, if you're trying to ask other people to believe in your pink and purple polka dot Smurfs, we're going to ask you to back your information up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you're asking, do you have the ability to have a platform where you can speak your truth? Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I think when I speak for Bobby and Los, and I think it's you as well, I'm insulted that it took you this long to get this real.
I know, you should have known.
Because that should have been day one.
Right.
You know.
Because even though she mentioned how nervous she was day one, we didn't feel it at all.
At all.
I was surprised when she said, yeah, I was nervous. I'm like, if you were, you sure hit that shit well, goddamn. Because I didn't feel that.
She hit it well. Absolutely.
I thought she loosened up. At the beginning, yeah, but after a while, it was like, oh, no, she loosened up. Okay, she's cool. And she said, no, I was still nervous. I'm like, I didn't see that at all. So.
And you see, what more proof do you need than the woman that we didn't know was watching us up until a couple of months afterwards? Because we knew my mom was watching. We knew your family was watching those. We knew Bobby's family was watching.
Right,
we knew our friends was watching. We get all of that.
Right.
But we didn't know that the person sitting next to us right now had been watching us the whole time and was silent.
Right. Never said that.
Until she came out and was like, hey, I'm such and such or whatever, like what you're doing or whatever. And we were so happy. We was like, oh my God, we got a real one true day one fan.
Right.
You know, and now you're with us. Which speaks to the point, hey man, if you're watching this platform, come join us. We could use the help. God knows.
Something made her say, I got to go on this show. I want to be on this show. After watching for so long, we didn't know you were there. No comments or nothing. All of a sudden, I want to be in your show. So something got you that said, I want to be on this show. And I would hope it was the fact that we say whatever you want. Just come here, whatever you got on your chest, you got to get it off. Come to your say.
It's the dumb stuff.
But it's not no crazy.
We gonna get you.
Yeah,
On
right,
camera.
right.
We gonna get you.
So at least we tell you that. So don't get mad when you do, when you come with that shit. But
because you know when you've been off your meds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sure, you know when you've been off your meds. You make an effort to come here and do that. We got you. But if it's something that you really believe, absolutely.
To her own show. So hey, now she's part of it. So.
Absolutely. Like I think there were other people with us, which speaks to God willing, we can maintain it. Our level of, making sure people are comfortable, because Jan was with us, and Jan was a, pronounced atheist.
Mm-hmm.
We have Queen Mother here is like just the exact opposite.
Right.
And they could stay in a room, and we could all communicate with each other and understand where we come from, Right. So I think
that's just the respect.
I think we're doing a good job, man. On that.
We have your opinion that we respect it. Just don't be no crazy shit, Like
please don't.
No, some dude didn't grow arm off his arm.
No, he didn't. He's not a reptile.
I don't see that shit.
Before and after.
But most people that watch the show understand that, we allow you to say what you got to say, but you know yourself if you're coming from somewhere like way off. You know it yourself.
They even bring themselves back to like, I know I went off on a tangent. Oh, okay, I know that when we was talking about, well, damn, why didn't you figure that before you went off on a tangent? You know what I mean?
Right.
like you know what I'm saying, Queen? Yeah. Period. Not, okay.
You have to make a whole other show called What If? And then you can come with the crazy shit.
You count me out now. I won't be nowhere near the crazy.
Come tell us you're crazy.
I'm done with that. I'm done with the crazy. I can deal with the off, but not the crazy.
Not the crazy.
Can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Queen, it's so funny that you decided to join us this afternoon, because today's show is called What Makes a Good Teacher. And we're going to walk them through it. But just to kind of get them hooked, last week, one of the things we had said was, after we talked about what makes a good teacher, I said, as you all are doing your research on this, as you're thinking about this, I want you to have in mind the importance of your mother. Let's talk about what makes a good teacher. What makes a good teacher?
In your own words, of your mother.
I mean, your mother's your first teacher.
Saying in the importance of your mother. What makes a good teacher? Mm-hmm. That's the question.
It's directly tied to, of course, what makes good parents. Can't wait for your show, Queen Mother. My mom is looking at you, Queen Mother. She says, can't wait for your show, Queen Mother. I know it's going to be spirit-filled and uplifting. Y'all are one twins. Make no mistake about it.
Maybe she'll be a guest on your show.
You know what I mean? Oh, my God.
Come to crazy, but she'll come.
Make sure that battery fills, boy.
That's a great idea.
My Lord. Who knows?
Got to get the 120 Maxwell on that one.
Except right.
For those that's a cassette tape. It was a 120 at an hour on each side, so you could put all kind of shit on there.
They when you think about what makes a good teacher, well, let's take it step by step. Do you remember your first teacher in life? In terms of school you went to?
Yes.
You do? What about you, Lois?
Not my first.
You don't remember your first
teacher, no.
The
only thing I remember is she used to take me to school, but she lived across the hall from me. So every morning she would take me to school. But other than that, I don't.
Who did you remember as your first instructor in school?
As my first instructor, someone that I could remember. Not that one.
It could go as far as to high school.
It wouldn't have been till maybe like 4th grade.
Okay.
And I've spoken of her before, Miss Okie Dokie.
And you remember her?
And I remember her.
Okay, that's important.
And I remember this Indian guy that used to teach us. When she left, he came. And I remember him because he talked a lot about cultures of Indian stuff that they do that we weren't used to.
Who had more of an impact?
You know what? I would say he did, because he was teaching me things. She just looked nice to me. She was pretty lady.
Okay.
So that's why I remember her.
But that's important. That's important. That's important.
I remember that. I don't even remember how she taught, but I just remember she was real nice and she was real pretty. But the dude, Indian guy, I forget his name, he was teaching us things about his culture.
So you're looking at her and listening to him.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
I get it. Bobby, what about you? do you remember your first teacher?
Yeah, third grade.
Third grade. Okay. Now, as we're going through this conversation, there's no need to rush to the end, everybody. Let's make sure we understand what we're talking about. What do you remember about your first instructor? What stands out?
The fact that they weren't really doing anything. Because it's my kindergarten teachers. And the most that I remember about my first instructors, which they were, they always wanted us to go to sleep. And so that stands out in my mind even to this day.
Really?
It's like, why do we have to go to sleep? We just got here from sleeping.
We ain't trying to deal with your ass. That's just sleep.
So,
Let's send in a message.
although they may have instilled upon me my ABCs, I really don't recall that. But I recall the naps. And that seemingly was what I remember most about my first instructor, which happened to be 2 females.
How do you feel about naps now?
I don't take naps,
So you were effective.
but very much so. I mean, I understand naps, but a nap for me is a handicap to my real rest, because if I take a nap, then I'm good for hours. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, I may be beginning to want to go to sleep, and everybody else is awake.
Did you get a chance to watch our show that we did last on habits?
I am not sure, but I think I did. I think I really
Like last
did.
week before.
Because what you're describing is you're identifying the habit or the routine that you were put through by a person that was in a position of authority, who was your first teacher. Outside of parents, your first teacher, because you've come to equate naps with earliest memories of teacher or experiences with teacher.
I do.
And so to this very day, whether you take naps or whether you don't like to take naps, you're still affected by that early rearing process.
I can agree with that. 100.
That's how much influence it has on us. Absolutely. And there's no right or wrong. By the way, there's no right or wrong ways to answer any of these questions. I just asked the question.
Yeah.
And she's bringing up exactly what her first memories are.
Right. And those are the memories that really affect your life as you get older. So that you remember.
What are your first thoughts, man? It could be both of them. I mean, just
No. I mean, like I said, for me, I remember that he was an Indian guy. You know, first time I probably ever met a guy that was actually Indian, and the way he talked to us about the stuff that he did, that they did in his country, that to us was like, oh, really weird type stuff. You know? He explained that he was supposed to get married to somebody else, but he didn't want to. So the girl he wanted to, they moved to England and got married and lived their lives from there. He didn't want to be with the girl he wanted. I remember that, him telling us that, different stuff that they did. You know,
what grade?
I want to say it was 4th grade. He replaced Miss Hokey Doke. She left. She was only a temporary. Then he came and he was the teacher from then on.
You don't remember your first and second grade?
I don't remember them people though. I moved so much. I might have had a teacher in Puerto Rico that halfway through ended up somewhere else.
Oh, because
So I wouldn't remember it now. I do remember Miss Borland from my senior year, and she was English teacher, English lit. All through all of my schooling, English was not one of my subjects. Always failing it. I didn't care to learn it. It's like I already know how to speak. It's fine. I wasn't thinking about all the other stuff. But then when I get there, I'm thinking, this one I passed with a really good grade. And she was an excellent teacher. I mean, she told you from the first day, if you fail my class, you're just a dumbass. That's pretty much what she said. If you fail this class, there's no help. You can't be helped. You're just that dumb. She pretty much said that to everybody. And the way she explained things to us, I guess that motivated me to do better in this class, which was English lit. And then I got a good grade, and I figured, shit, all these years of English, I'd get D's and F's and shit, and here I am with a fucking A. And goddamn,
What was it about this individual that you connected with?
It's just the way she talked to you, the way she was always available to you. She would talk to you, try to get you to. She would explain things. She would break that shit down, to make to where you could understand, because she knew each one of us, she knew who we were. So she knew how to talk to me and make me understand what the fuck she was talking about. You know, I was like, okay, I get it now. So I would do what I had to do, and I did well. So I do remember her.
Do you have fond memories of her?
Yeah, because, you know, this is the way she was, you know. So, I mean, shit, it hit me when I learned that she died about 3 years ago. You know, it's been so many years. I was thinking about her every here and there. I would think about it more often since I got with Amy, because Amy's all about English. So whenever she would talk to me, I would think about her. And then one day I saw on Facebook that she had died, and it affected me like it's affected me now.
Yeah.
She was just good people.
Yeah.
What kind of memories do you have, Queen Mother, when you think about your early seats that you played? Like, how do you feel? I shouldn't say memories. What are your early emotions? Like, how do you feel when you think about those? Thank you, brother.
I don't really know, because I don't really have a teacher that I really placed over the other, because they were all pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the one that I might remember is the one that, you know, because now once in the 4th grade, I got failed. And I had no F's or D's on my card. And I examined and re-examined, like, why did Miss Shepherd fail me? But again, I also put it to home. Why didn't somebody fight for me? So, but that's a whole nother story. But again, I don't really remember a teacher that just, I mean, they were all sweet. They were really, they really wanted us, and I say us, but they really wanted me to learn.
It seemed like it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't.
They were invested in their children.
They were. They
Unlike
were.
today.
So there was not really one that stood out above the other, and I can almost remember all of them. The one that, well, and you have memories about each one of them, but I guess my homeroom teacher in the, you said we could go all the way out, my homeroom teacher in the 12th grade may have been the most teaching, influential man that I had, because he was also the basketball coach, and he was a winning basketball coach. And also, even though he had to do the team, he would also keep us in for being bad. So I always thought that was fascinating, that he had to go to basketball practice, yet he stayed in the room with us until he felt that we had been punished enough.
So and you responded to someone that taught you lessons on life that required some form of being reprimanded. That's what you responded to. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I can still hear him saying, "Hey, little girl," and that little girl was me. So I'm in detention, I'll say, but then still I'm acting up to the point of I have to be called out. So yeah, that was
interesting.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Bobby, and thank you for watching on Easter. We saw you come in. I'm sorry we couldn't break acknowledge, but thank you so much. And we had a good number of people in here, but they left, so I guess they got bored. But that's fine. Bobby, what are your first memories, man, of your first teacher in life?
My first teacher was Plum in 3rd grade. I like she wasn't one of those teachers that would just stand in front of the classroom and do lessons or whatever. She would actually come around the desk and, check in, making sure everybody got it. She was just real nice. She was calm. Little test all around. She stayed calm. And she maintained the classroom. So always going down to her class.
Yeah.
And I had nothing but my OT teacher. Because I was having trouble doing the steps and all that, me and a couple of others. So after the class, he would have us, do something. He just private. It was like, okay, we'll be here. That way we got it right. I ended up becoming a squad leader. So,
wow.
So those two that stand out my memory.
Doesn't it strike you to be something interesting that if not all of us on these couches, we've all said that there was something that stood out that made us gravitate to a certain individual or group of individuals during our formative years. And follow me on this, y'all. It's not deep. It's really simple. Mathematics can be taught the same exact way. Let's take algebra. Can be taught the same exact way in London, England, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Houston, Texas, New York, New York, Tokyo, Japan. It doesn't matter. The process is the process. So you would think that if the process is the process, we could standardize a way of learning algebra for that process.
Okay.
Science be the same?
So, there, exactly.
So one way to do this.
That's
not this way, then you ain't learning.
That's exactly why I chose mathematics.
Yeah,
do it with science.
Yep.
You know,
yeah, right.
Science has a little bit more room for ingenuity and creativity and experimentation. Mathematics, that's the answer.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? That's the answer. And since that is the answer, isn't it interesting that, and I think we've had a couple of people that, commented in the room, it's not the love of pi equals 3.14 that got it. It's not knowing the quadratic equation that's what got it. What got them interested in the quadratic equation and what pi, meant, you had a math teacher that took an interest in you. And I find that interesting because our first connection on planet Earth is with the woman that gave birth to us.
Right. That's how
there's a bond. There's a bond that goes beyond any reason or merit of why this infant should have your love. It goes beyond all of that. Right? That same attention was given to you when there was something you learned in school by some teacher that was teaching you whatever it was that they saw that you were good in or you had some promise in. Now, mind you, the answer is the answer. We've seen that before. We saw that last year when I was pushing through the last set of sixth graders. We saw that 2 years ago when that set of sixth graders came to learn math from me. We saw the same answer when 3 years ago, it was a group of third graders that wanted to come into fourth grade and have to learn math, and I taught them the same thing. But notice what didn't happen. I didn't teach each and every one or show a personal interest in each and every one because there was something that stood out where you connected and the other teacher connected. And what y'all had in common was the lesson being taught.
You were grasping it like crazy when he saw that, oh, I could teach this to this person.
You know what I mean?
What I'm talking about. I'm like, Los, this nigga ain't paying attention.
And they'll invest less time.
Right.
Which is understandable.
And it's fair. I mean,
I think it's messed up, but
yeah.
That's understandable.
Right.
I won't get into why I think it's messed up because that'll get us totally off track. But someone took an interest in you. Now, we're going to go through and talk about some of the smaller details of that. But let me ask y'all a question. Just based on what we just said, not including you, I'm speaking only to the men, okay?
Okay.
If you are a man and you're paying attention to this conversation, and you've heard everything that we've said regarding your first teacher, and you also realize why the first teacher in Los's mind taught something different, was a different grade than what was in Queen Mother's mind, which taught something different at a different grade in her life. which taught me something different, a different grade in my life, and Bobby as well. Notice how we all gravitated to someone that took an interest in us.
It's nice.
Isn't a mother's love similar to that?
It's pretty much what it is. You know? Except that's your mom. That's a different bond.
But don't do that. No, but don't do that.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, don't do that.
They were nice to you.
Don't
They took
qualify.
an interest in you. They were paying attention to you, and that gravitated to learn what they had to say.
Like,
Just like your mom, pretty much. You know.
because I can name some women that had a baby and they ended up in the ditch. So just because I'm your mama don't mean I have to love you.
Right. Right.
Let's keep this conversation real. Someone took an interest in you. 12th grade for someone, 9th grade for someone, 4th grade for someone, 1st grade for someone. But it wasn't what they taught, it was their interest and value of you.
Yeah.
If for no other reason, if you had a mother that loved you enough to where you may have went hungry some nights. I won't say you didn't go hungry. You may have went hungry. Times can get hard. I get that. Don't mean she loved me any less. Times can get that hard.
She didn't eat either.
But she didn't eat either. And if there was something to eat, you ate first.
Right. Right.
But I'm saying all that to say, your first teacher in your entire life is your mother. Look at how important that role is. That is not something to be trifled with. If anyone disagrees with me, then let's follow even further the components of what makes a good teacher. And as we go through this list, you're going to see for yourself, you damn right your mama is your first teacher. They say a good teacher qualities are, one thing, they always maintain an understanding of the subject matter. Why is that important?
So that I can grasp it. Because if you're not maintaining it, how am I going to do it?
But why is that important?
Because
What?
be able to teach it right. You gotta
The ultimate goal would be,
Right.
but you're heading you went to the end first and not the middle. But this is how we get there. Why is maintaining an understanding of the subject matter so important? People with ADD struggle with this, but it's not their fault. It's just something they struggle with. Why is that so important?
Not sure. I guess you got to know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
You got to know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about,
It's really that simple.
how the hell are you going to teach somebody some shit?
It's really that simple.
You teach them the wrong shit, though.
It's really that simple.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And an understanding. I used to have a dog. You all may have heard me say this from time to time, but I mean this. This is how much. Exactly. You can't teach what you don't understand. Yeah, we got plenty of time. I used to have a dog because I learned a lot from this dog.
Okay.
I used to have a pug, and his spine was messed up. And as a result of that, his central nervous system is jacked. If your central nervous system is jacked, meaning all those cords that run up and down your spine that connect to your brain, if your central nervous system, your brain and your spine is messed up, if there's any problem anywhere in that line, there's going to be a problem in their ability to understand.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they won't ever understand. It just means learning may become a little bit challenging for them. To no fault of their own. They just had a couple of things go different in their central nervous system. That's it. Okay. I noticed after I laid hands on them, I won't think nothing about them. If I had kids, I'd spank them. I wouldn't trip, but I wouldn't abuse them. And how you apply that punishment is what the difference is.
Yeah.
I started teaching the dog to not pee in the house. I would do everything that I would normally do that has always worked with almost every single dog I had before, but with him, he's not responding to it. I had to stop. The reason I had to stop is why. Why would I have to stop?
You wouldn't get them, no matter what, whether you were beating them or not.
How did I know he wasn't getting it?
Because he wouldn't do what you asked. He kept doing
He
what
had
you wanted him not to
inherited.
do.
there was no change in behavior.
Yeah, he kept doing it. Like,
So I knew then, it's not that he's being stubborn. He can't connect the dots.
right.
So now that I know that, he already knew it. He was already aware. But, he can't talk to your dog. So I got to catch up to where he's at. At the moment that I realized that, every action towards him had to be carefully weighed, because then this is abuse.
Right.
He doesn't get it. That's why spanking in a child that may have a severe level of retardation, that's abuse. They don't get it. Okay, all right. So whenever you maintain an understanding of what's being discussed, that means this. Los, if your mom came home and said, every day I come home, I want these dishes cleaned at 5 p.m. And Los, here's why I want the dishes cleaned at 5 p.m. And here's how I want the dishes done at 5 p.m. Regardless of what's going on, do you understand that?
Yeah.
The moment she asks you that, if you say yes, your acknowledgement does what?
You're going to be doing that shit. At
Brings you under all the rules thereof,
In
making
words,
sure
you said yes, you understood what I said.
you understood.
So why didn't the motherfuckers get done today?
What was the first rule in terms of a good teacher? Maintains an understanding of the subject matter. See, when I say, my first grade teacher taught in a segregated one school room, she taught us book knowledge and how to be proud Black children. Amongst other individuals that weren't Black, that was a heck of a job. It's good for you. If somebody would have felt isolated and been like, I didn't feel included. They talked only to the Black kids. You know what I mean? And we white. Why she ain't talk to us? She favored the Blacks, but that's a whole other subject. But yeah, absolutely. You have to maintain an understanding of the topic, because otherwise you're not going to have any central focus of attention.
Right.
No learning will occur.
And you can tell when somebody has that or not.
You
Like,
can.
They're talking to you.
You can.
After a while, you know that, wait a minute, do you really know what you're talking about here?
Exactly.
You're not making sense.
What are some of the cues that let you know?
There's some of the things they may say that either they mentioned it before but changed up what they said earlier. So now it's like, wait a minute, I thought you said that if I did that, this happens. Now you're saying that this happens. Something's wrong here. So you're off. You must not know what you're talking about, Or you start to feel like you're drifting yourself because you're not hearing what's supposed to be coming out of your mouth.
Right.
I'm not hearing what you're supposed to be saying because I'm already kind of understanding this, but what you're saying now doesn't go with what you already taught. That
Right.
makes no sense. So
Right.
you really know what the fuck you're talking about. That kind of shit.
It's called cueing. Whenever you're teaching something new, something called cueing.
Okay.
And whenever you're teaching a group, I only taught college, some high school, but mainly college. No high school, middle school, but college. When you cue, you're taking for account that there may be some people that's not paying attention.
Okay.
So without bringing them back to the conversation, without grabbing them and bringing them back to the conversation, you go things like this. That's why if you always see me do this, I do something like this. Yeah, so X, plus Y equals Z, and that's you understand what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? Yeah, okay, because I'm looking for feedback to make sure you're still listening.
Right.
Because if you wander off, then now you see how children with ADD feel. Like they're sitting here and they know they're supposed to do whatever it is they do, they just can't stay on task. So all of a sudden they're writing something and now they're talking about Sesame Street. Now they're talking about how they felt yesterday. Now they're talking about what they want to eat tonight. Now they can't wait to go and play after school. You know what I mean? And all the while, the mental discipline that is required for learning is going unaddressed. So that's why paying attention or stay on task is so important. Matter of fact, that was the very first quality that they gave a good teacher.
You have compassion, empathy.
That is number 4. That's number 4.
And patience for sure.
Number 4 with empathy.
Yeah, right.
Number 4. Number 2 is effective communication.
Right.
Why is effective communication important?
Well, so you got to be able to know what you're talking about. Be able to know that I'm grasping what you're saying to me. So you got to speak to me effectively, because if not, I'll wander off.
What would that look like?
I'm not sure. I guess just listening to what they're saying and making sense of what they're talking about. It's making sense to me. So that must be, what's coming out is knowledge. She knows what she's talking about. Well, he knows.
What did you ever teach one of your young ones when they were around 4 years old or 5 years old? Say you were really in grade. What did you teach your kid that had no point of reference in terms of what you was teaching, but you had to convey that message to her?
I don't remember anything, but I know you have to break that shit down to their level.
How so?
I mean, you got to break it down to where I know I'm talking to a 2-year-old. I got to make sure I can't talk to them like if I'm talking to you, but they're not going to understand.
I'm 2 years old. Talk to me.
So I'd have to tell you that, you understand how the reason, I got to tell you the reason why things are being, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what talk to them.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No,
but
I know.
I'm showing you what goes like this, don't take for granted what teachers do. That's my whole argument. You see the trouble he's having? Don't take for granted what teachers do. It is not easy. It's a skill. That's my whole argument. Okay. So, explain to me, I'm 2 years old. What would you like to teach me?
Anything, I guess. Just have to tell it to you
What's
in a certain way. I don't know. I used to teach first graders. I
right.
taught a girl with how to read, teaching her how to read. I just tried to explain to her, as she was reading, she knew the words. So, just try to tell her how to read them, how to write them down so she would learn it. If you keep writing it, you'll learn it better.
How did you teach her how to pronounce the words?
Just, like showing her, you already know L for, say, the word long. So it's long. And she knew these sounds, so then she would know to write it down. But her problem was, though, even though she saw that, and she may have been ADD back then, but back then they didn't talk about none of that. It would have been more like she was hyperactive, but she really wasn't. She just would read this word three letters down. It's the same word. She wouldn't know what it was. I'm like, it was the same as this one. Remember that one? This one. And it took her a while to learn that shit, So, but I had to be patient with her because that's how the reading was going. She'd read words. The next word is almost the same. It's like, well, what did you read here? She would know that. But when I point back to this one, she still didn't know what that word was. I'm like, look, it looks exactly the same. Look at the letters, exactly the same. So what was this word again? Now, what's this word? That's the same fucking word.
So why did you default to the first word?
Because she knew it.
Exactly.
She knew what that word was.
And what did the power of this first word do?
It gave her she knew that I know this word. I know this word. So if he's telling me that this is the same as this one, even though I'm seeing the letters different, it must be the same. And that's how she associated with it. She eventually got it, But I remember my counselor was coming to watch me do that. And that's the reason I said patient, because she said, man, you got the patience of a saint, because I don't know how you sat there and taught her how to read that paragraph. I would have gave up on her, because that's how difficult she was being. I mean, you just read the word. You just said it. What is this word? I don't know. What's this word? And she'd say, like, something not right here. To me, I'm only in high school myself. This was just an elective that I had, So I'm wondering, I'm like, man, you just saw it, you just told me what it was, but when I show it to you here, you have no clue what this word is. And at the time, I'm not thinking of dyslexia, none of that. I wasn't a teacher. I was just a student that took an elective to help a teacher teach first graders, So I didn't know none of that. So I was trying to understand it. So I just took a deep breath and just kept trying to tell her over and over. Look at it. And that's why
why did you have patience with it?
Because as an adult, not so much an adult, but older, I'm not comprehending so much that how can you not know what you just told me? It's the same exact word. Do you not see it? Look, it's spelled like W-A-S. You know what that is? Was? Okay, so what's this W-A-S mean? I don't know. That's frustrating as hell, It's like, man, it's like, how can you not know this? So, but again, I wasn't a teacher. I didn't have all the skills of being a teacher.
Why did you have patience?
I don't know, because I wanted her to learn how to fucking read.
Why was it important that she learn how to read?
Because I'm the one who's teaching her.
If you're teaching her how to read, how did you teach her to pronounce the words?
The way they taught us to how each word goes, the A, I, B, like that.
Now you're getting to it.
Which she should have had already known,
Exactly.
But when she got tripped up on something, I had to remember her. Okay, that word starts with W, and then she would get it from there. But the part of her seeing the word and then showing her the same word and not getting it, that's what was fucking with me. Like, you just told me exactly what it was. You saw it. You spelled it out for me. But you don't know what it is over here on this side of the page. It's like she knew it in this sentence, but not in this sentence. That was confusing as hell.
Phonetically. So, Queen Mother, What have been your experiences in teaching people in terms of making sure the information is where they can understand it?
Simplicity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's keep it simple. It's called the KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
So that's why whenever you think you're around a smart person, when they talk in those big words and nobody understands what the hell is going on, they fail to realize keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. When you're in a room with people that are at your level, especially that's when you know, most people don't know that they're always around people that understand exactly how I talk. So when I'm in a room that people don't understand it, you forget that you're there.
Right.
To keep it simple, like, oh shit, I forgot that these motherfuckers don't know what I'm talking about.
So who does the burden of learning fall on? The teacher or the student?
I guess the teacher, because you gotta know what the fuck you're talking about and how to portray it. You gotta be able to make me understand. In other words, you gotta come down to my level so I can understand what you're saying. And if you're a good teacher, you'll know how to break that down to my level. You can break it down from a kid level all the way to a very person at your level. You know, so, and that's how I see it.
So when you're able to break it down to where a child can understand it, what are you doing? Like, what is that process called?
It's for simplifying, for making it easier.
What would you say, Quinn?
I heard the question and the breaking down. How would I break that down? It would still repeat the question. Say it again.
When you had to teach someone and meet them on their level, how did you break the information down to where they could understand it? What was that process called?
Well, winning that person to yourself.
Okay. And what did you do?
Well, it all depends on how much time you've spent with them first.
Okay.
And then if you begin to hear something that they may have said if you're in conversation, and then you listen to the degree, I'll say, of their conversation, what level are they coming? And then you seek to be as they are, and or help them to believe that you are where they are, and you understand their plight.
But how did you convey that?
Again, by winning them to you and associating yourself with similar happenings.
What about you, Bobby? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna say you first must identify the need.
Well, what she's saying is identify the need, meaning where's the problem, and them being able to learn something. So, for example, if I have autism, I'm not going to learn calculus like Los would learn calculus without autism. It's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, there are some cases where I may learn that in the third grade because of autism.
And
Right.
that makes you an idiot savant.
But you can't explain it. It's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
With those individuals that are that smart, and it's for a whole different host of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes them poor teachers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because during this whole conversation, always maintain very simplistic thinking. Whenever you're teaching a child something, or a mind, it can't be a child, it could be a full-grown adult. Whenever you're teaching them something that is foreign to them, and it looks like we have to continue to set another time. And that's cool, because I'd rather a school do it step by step.
Yeah. That's
I'd rather
right.
take our time. One of the things that has to be remembered is, now I'm going to give you out an answer. And everybody finna have this moment. Oh, I knew that. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay.
No problem. It's coming. I knew that. But the problem is, it's not that you didn't know. You weren't thinking it nor using it.
Okay.
That's the problem. You ever taught a child mathematics?
No.
You ever been around a child learning mathematics?
Yes,
What did they teach them with?
large numbers.
And what did they use to represent the numbers?
Of course, if there was addition, they're going to use the plus sign or the negative sign.
But how do they know what's a plus and minus? What they start using there to understand addition and subtraction. So a child can
Use
understand.
objects.
And what did they use? See how easy it came to you? You're like, yeah, but
8 apples plus 5 pears equals what?
exactly.
Objects. Okay.
Exactly.
Or you got a bunch of pictures of something, and they want you to tell me how many of each one is there.
When they taught you
And they
money,
start
what did
counting.
they teach you?
They teach you
How did you learn?
You know, by telling you how if so and so went to the store and bought this shit, and they gave it $5, how much do they get back?
See, I'm showing you how basic that is. You're still way ahead of the curve. You're not going back far enough.
Well, you start with pennies.
And by the way,
Change.
that's my argument with most people that become teachers. You're not talking with your students.
Right.
You're starting here as if they already know
Right.
what a dollar is. I'm asking you, where did they get that thought from? And now the brother says, well, they teach you with pennies. That was the question. Because you always have to assume this person has no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's how they do. They show pictures of coins and shit.
They show you a
Break them
penny.
down, how much each one is worth.
A nickel, a dime. They show it to you.
Right. Right.
And then they say it's worth this abstract number, this 10, this decimal with a 5 behind it.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This decimal with a 7-5.
Right.
This picture of 3/4 and this nickel. How much money do I have?
Right.
I have 3/4 and a nickel.
And these
Exactly. Illustration examples. 3/4 and a nickel. I have 99 pennies. How much money do I have? 99 pennies. Well, what if I got 100? How much money do I have? 100 pennies. What else? Oh, I don't know. $1.
Now let me show you a picture of a dollar.
So now you're building on their earlier thinking, and that is what, when they say how does it go? I think I wrote, yeah, thank you, Lord. A good education can buy you. A good education can change anyone. A good education can change anyone. A good teacher can change everything. We got 2 minutes left. What does that mean to you?
A lot. It even makes me think even further into myself in the sense of I've been asked throughout the years, are you a teacher? So that question right there makes me ask myself, am I a teacher?
Amen.
And I will evaluate it by remembering to self-analyze myself according to what you just said.
A good education can change anyone. But a good teacher can change everything.
That's deep right there.
What are your thoughts on that, Lois?
Well, I'm saying, I mean, a good education, yeah, that's good, but a teacher can change everything because as you're learning things, you're going to use that for other things you learn and change the way you do things because you learn from such good people that you know how to put it all together.
A good education, you should see a change of behavior.
Right. I mean, yeah.
It should civilize
Right.
you. It should.
Right.
What are your thoughts, Bob? Talk a little bit longer.
What I'm saying, like, good education, yeah, it's good about things, but it's good for a good teacher. For me, it can be more of a creative understanding than giving me more of a, I got a good education, but to actually, I can go beyond that. I can go big. It's like, one thing holding me back is my life. So if I have a good teacher, teaching that nothing can hold you back. You can do it. They hold it.
That is one of the hardest things to teach a student, by the way. To break limitations. That is one of the hardest things.
I agree.
That is so hard. We're going to stop right there, y'all, because it's a couple of other sections we got to go over regarding that plays into this conversation.
Okay.
But I do
Maybe next
appreciate
time
y'all.
we'll get some
You know,
teachers
just,
on.
well, that's cool. I mean,
Give
you
us the
can, but the process
how
is the
you
process.
how do you teach? You know, do you believe in these things we're talking about? Is that what makes a good teacher, and do you uphold those? Is that the type of person you are? But anyways, make sure y'all join us Wednesday. We got South Park Coalition's own Murder One.
Murder One, yeah.
He'll be joining us again. He's been a guest here before, so he'll be back again. We appreciate him. So make sure y'all tune in on Wednesday for that conversation. And then thank y'all for being here. Much love for your support. I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Blackman
We
on the
got Queen
can.
Mother.
And Queen Mother right here with us today, too. Thank you so much for being here. And can't wait for your show.
Absolutely.
With them. So stay tuned for that. We'll be giving you the rundown on when that's coming. So make sure y'all tune in to Fridays to listen to what's coming. So it may be that weekend. We never know. But it will be on a Sunday, 7 o'clock. So make sure it'll be pre-recorded. So if you want to be on the show, you're going to have to come and pre-record with her or join the live chat when the show's actually
We'll be there to support you.
right. So anyways, but thank y'all for being here. We out. Peace.